and figure out what's the best course of action to live sustainably and make sure you have food available. Don't rely on the superstructures which are collapsing. Okay, and even if they don't collapse, we need good, healthy food so we can live in abundance. Abundance engineers to the rescue. Cheers.
How is everybody? My name is Raul Morris. I am one of the co-producers, co-creators of this project called Criptomonedas Pa'l Pueblo, which basically is an educational project that we've been working on for the last almost 2 months. Although it's been in our minds for the last maybe year and a half. I want to mention Alejandro, I want to mention Shaggy, I want to mention Felo, I want to mention Paco, I want to mention Roberto, Louis. All of these are individuals that somehow, as a matter of fact, there's a couple more. Julian, there's a couple more. But the important thing is that we have been coordinating. This initially started off as a friends' conversation about the possibilities of things we could do with the crypto technology, with the blockchain, with the ledger, with teaching the Puerto Rican community. And I mean the Puerto Rican community. I'm talking about the average Joe, what crypto is, how crypto works, and how they can benefit from the technology and how it's going to affect their lives. We really expect this to happen. The crypto or the blockchain ledger technology will be in somehow in everyone's lives in the next few years. I believe that. I really do. So that's the reason why we got together and we developed a plan, a project in Espanol, precisely talking about how we can teach crypto. And one of the first things that we talked about was developing a lexicon, a certain a language, a way of communicating that people will relate to. These are terms and technology, language related so we decided that we needed to first really think about some of the words that we wanted to translate, not just to Spanish, but to Puerto Rican Spanish. It's a different concept. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. Strategies that I've been using in the past in education. I myself, I'm a professor, a graphic design professor. I've been teaching for the last maybe 12 years, but I've been teaching at university level for like 12 years, but I've been teaching for more than 20 in communities as a social worker. I'm also a social worker. So we've kind of talked about different strategies on how to teach people, how to teach the people, the common folk, what this is all about, with the intentions of documenting it and exporting it to other communities like ours, where they can do precisely this. We've been doing a lot of educating at the community level for very many years, so this is not new to us. And I want to share with you some of the strategies that we've been talking about. We developed a white paper because one of the things that we understood is that we needed funds to be able to pull this off. We needed money to be able to pull this off. So we got together a couple of the guys, Julian and Felo in particular, and myself as a graphic designer, to put this thing called reggaeton token together. It's about to come out in the next few weeks. I found out recently it's going to be the second local token or coin. The first one was called Coqui. And I think I'm not sure too much about that particular one, but this is going to come out in the next few weeks, the beginning of September, is what we expect to present it to the world, ICO level, and then present it to the world. So we're very excited about that. That's one of the things that we talked about doing, and we are about to deploy. The second thing that we talked about doing is teaching this in places where people can access, and that means public places like schools, like universities, like the public plazas. We have a lot of public plazas. All of our municipalities on the island in Puerto Rico have public plazas. Let me give you some background on Puerto Rico today. We are 4 years in about a month post the hurricanes. So the destruction of the island was very bad. I think a lot of people in the world saw what happened. It was Category 5. And the infrastructure, I'm talking about the electricity, I'm talking about roads, I'm talking about schools, I'm talking about housing, I'm talking about tons of stuff, was really devastated. We didn't see help necessarily. A lot of the local people basically got together and helped themselves, which is the way we think it should be, right? That's true and not true, but I don't want to go into that particular detail because we can talk about the federal government. We can compare ourselves to Katrina. We can do a lot of stuff, but we're not going to go there. This project has a lot of strength behind it because we want to be able to put this together as we've been doing, and we want to be able to walk on our own. We don't want to depend on anyone. So that's why we created the token. We are already doing events in plazas. We are already doing events in radio and streaming. We are already doing events in festivals, and we're about to start the schools. But it's the COVID thing has slowed that a little bit down because they just started a couple of days ago, and we're seeing the numbers skyrocket. And everyone knows this could be argued in a lot of different ways. But here's the thing. Criptomonedas para el Pueblo needs to execute. We have the means. We have the people working behind this. And I want to mention the main strategies. We have a 10-point educational system that we've been doing already at the plazas and other areas. We have developed the strategy to film the documentary so we can export eventually, and we can also educate locally that using areas where we can present the documentary on Criptomonedas para el Pueblo, the project, educational project. We are going to start using sound trucks. These are very typical during election year. They're used to go all over different communities with messages, educational messages or political messages. We're going to integrate that. We are starting the radio programs as we have already, and we are going to continue the live streaming. Additional to that, we have a convention coming up, a conference coming up between the 19th and the 28th of November. That's almost 3 months away. And we pretend to have local speakers be the lead speakers. I think that's awesome. And, we have found a lot of wonderful people that are and have been working already on the island to teach about crypto. So we are going to invite, we're already doing that, inviting a lot of these people. We expect to have at least 10 to 15 local speakers and open the area to international speakers. Obviously, we want international influence. We want to learn. We want to be able to learn from the best. And we know that there's a lot of people out there, that being in Central and South America and Africa and the United States and Europe. So we're making that shout out right now. So anyone who is interested. And this is another one of the reasons why we're doing the translation to the English, so we can do both Spanish and English and cover most of the world. And as part of that convention, as part of that conference, we will be doing something called the Puerto Rican Adventure Tour. And what is the Puerto Rican Adventure Tour? This is something that we learned during Maria. What we received was a lot of love and a lot of help from our diaspora, the people who are of Puerto Rican descent or Puerto Ricans who live all over the world. And we also receive thousands of people from everywhere I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm just going to share. We got people from the Philippines. We got people from countries in Zimbabwe. We got people from South Africa. We got people from India. We got people from different states in the United States of America, Mexico. We got people from Canada. We got people from Europe. You know, French people came here. Spanish people came here during the whole year that we started rebooting our lives. Some places, some municipalities took almost a year to get electricity back. So people got used to not, using electricity, going to the river to wash their clothes. We went back, we went back as a good thing about not having that. You know how to deal with not having if anything comes up at one time. So we want to have now. We want to be able to act, and we want to be able to activate these forces.